Dear students, in this video we're going to have lesson 2 of chapter 1, which is talking about data types. In lesson 2 we're gonna discuss variables, declaration of variables, naming of variables, assignment statement. In this session we said Visual Basic.NET language provides many data types used to store input values from the user. We have three main data types, which are text, numeric, and miscellaneous data types. For representing data types like text, we can use string, char. For numeric, we have two types for numeric data, which is integer numbers and fractional or non-integer numbers. For representing integer numbers, we can use short, integer, and long. For decimal or fractional numbers, we can use single, double, and decimal. The third type is miscellaneous data types, and miscellaneous data types are data types which is not a text or a numeric or numbers, such as Boolean. Boolean is a data type used to represent yes or no values. Like gender, we can choose male or female. For example, we have religion, we can choose Muslims or Christian. We also have date. We can use data type date for representing date. The last one of miscellaneous data type is object. Data type has 1. A storage space in the computer memory. And as we said, computer memory divided into small boxes. Each box equals 1 byte. So, if I'm using data type integer, I'm reserving 4 bytes from the computer memory. 2. A range of values. A range of values, the values can be represented by this type or by this data type. The range of values for the data type byte starts from 0 and ends with 255. If we write a programming code and we move by the mouse on it, we can see the data type represented by this code. For example, we have label.text equal جمهورية مصر العربية, so we are using data type from type string. The property of type Boolean. If I'm gonna use label1.autosize equal false, so here I'm using data type Boolean representing yes or no. The property width of integer label.width equal 120. Here I'm using data type from type integer. Visual Basic.NET supports types other than standard data types. As we can see here, label1.backcolor equal color.red. Data type here is called system.drawing.color. 1 variables. Assume we have this program interface for recording employees' information. I'm gonna start with adding the name, for example Ali, adding any date of birth. Okay, here we have 1994, he's a male, then his family consisted of 6 members, and then press save. Again, I'm gonna add another one, which is Alia, any date of birth. Okay, and that's it. Okay, and she's a female, consisted of 3, and then save. So each time I'm going to work with this program, I'm gonna add different data, different name, different date of birth, different gender, different number of family members. Those data are represented by data types, and those data types are reserving certain amount of computer memory. So we can define variables as memory locations that hold data can be changed during program execution. Declaration of variables. As we agreed, variables are memory locations which hold changeable data. Now I need to declare a name and a data type for my variable, which will let my computer know which data type he gonna take from this text box representing a name, and which data type he's gonna reserve from gender and which data type he's gonna reserve from number of family members. How can I declare a variable? By writing the word them and then give a name for my variable, and let's say it's x, for example, as string. By doing this, I declared a variable named x from data type string. I need to declare another one representing an integer. So them x, or let it be z, as integer, and another one representing a Boolean data type. We can use the word them. For example, t as Boolean, and that's it. The word them here is an abbreviation for dimension. As we said, data type is reserving a certain size of the computer memory or a certain amount of the computer memory, so we are using the word them as an abbreviation for dimension. Naming of variables. Dear student, when naming variables, you must note the following. 1. Variable names must begin with a letter or an underscore. 2. Variable names should not contain spaces or symbols or special characters, such as question mark, asterisk, minus, plus, and others. 4. Variable names consisted of letters, numbers, and underscores only. 4. Do not use reserved words for Visual Basic.NET, such as single, them, short, integer. 5. It is preferable that the variable name reflect its content. For example, if this variable will represent student names, it could be named as student underscore name. If I'm gonna give a name for a variable for example, date of birth, it could be d underscore o underscore me, and so on. Dear student, when choosing a data type, you must note the following. 1. The size of data that will be stored in the variable. As we agreed, data type is reserving a certain amount of computer memory, so you have to choose the appropriate data type for the size of data you're gonna enter. Number 2, identify the data type of the values stored in the variable based on arithmetic and logical operations expected to take place on the variable. For example, if I'm gonna enter students' grades, I have to choose data type decimal, but if I'm gonna enter number of students, I have to choose data type integer. Dear student, when choosing a data type, you must note the following. 1. The size of data that will be stored in the variable. As we agreed, data type is reserving a certain amount of computer memory, so you have to choose the appropriate data type for the size of data you're gonna enter. Number 2, identify the data type of the values stored in the variable based on arithmetic and logical operations expected to take place on the variable. For example, if I'm gonna enter students' grades, I have to choose data type decimal, but if I'm gonna enter number of students, I have to choose data type integer. Assignment statement. Assignment statement is a statement that consisted of two sides, right hand side and left hand side, and they are separated by assignment operator equal, which doesn't mean the arithmetic equality. It consisted of taking the value of the right side and storing it on the left side.